If you've ever said, or if you're still currently saying things like, I can't believe I let that happen, or I can't believe I let this happen, or I can't believe you did this thing. You did that. I can't believe you did that to me type stuff. Or I wasted so much of my time, right? Or you wasted so much of my time. I've lost that now. Or I don't even know who I was back then. All those kind of things. You're not alone. It's not just you. There's so many people thinking just like you are, and understandably so. But the thing is, if you keep beating yourself up over, staying too long, or for tolerating too much, or for doing something you regret, then you're not healing because you're still punishing yourself. And heck, some of you are too busy punishing your partner, right? To where you can't rebuild with them and heal and mend to move on because you're more busy holding their past, what they did in that time capsule moment that won't ever change, over their progress of the present, what they've done since then, and try to prove to you that they're going to do better and trying to be better and trying to make things right. So let's talk about how to stop dwelling on the past so it doesn't rob you of your future. See, first, you got to understand the cost of constantly replaying the past in your mind. See, dwelling doesn't protect you. If anything, it paralyzes you. You overanalyze your past decisions or your partners trying to understand what happened, what went wrong, all the things. But what you're really doing is reinforcing shame, right? You're delaying your peace. And ultimately, you're robbing your future of freedom, being free from this energy and this weight you're carrying along with yourself. Understand, you can't be present with your healing if you're still in a relationship actively with your pain, meaning you're giving more credence, more significance, and more focus and energy to what you don't want, the pain you don't want to keep carrying, and you're feeding it life and you're developing a relationship with it over being present with what you're trying to do to heal and let go of that, to build a stronger relationship with your healing. And the main reason people get stuck in this loop is they think pain equals accountability in some kind of way, right? You start thinking to yourself, the more I suffer, the more I beat myself up or don't, let myself off the hook, the more I'm learning my lesson. But the problem is guilt will never grow you, but compassion with reflection does, where you're able to offer yourself grace, but still hold yourself accountable, but give yourself the grace from what you didn't know and decide what you're going to do about it. It's much more empowering versus continuing to just beat yourself up to a pulp, right? And keep making yourself feel guilty so that you never, ever come close to making that mistake again because you won't let yourself off that hook or won't give yourself a break. No, keep sticking it to yourself, right? That'll make sure you never let it happen again. But it's very counterproductive to your process. And the next big reason people get stuck in that loop, this is a big one. They can't let go of the time they've invested. You stay with this person for 5 years. The relationship's still toxic, still not healthy, still not what you want, right? But you won't walk away because you don't want to feel like you've lost a big piece of your life by leaving this person. It's like you've tied so much of your significance into them. If you walk away now, it was all for naught. So you stay. But here's the thing. Staying for another 5 years won't get those years back. If anything, it'll cost you more, right? So while you're trying to, avoid feeling like you just wasted a piece of your life, you're actually stripping more of it from yourself by staying in a situation that's already proven for 5 years already prior that it doesn't work for you, right? And I'll tag the other little piece on there too that adds to that whole feeling like you're losing your time and that's why you won't walk away. How about whenever you feel like you're at a certain age, right? Well, I'm not getting any younger. I can't afford to start over again. All the lies we tell ourselves. And so therefore you stay and invest more and more. And then you look up and when it's still not working 5 more years later, right? Now you're in for 10 years. Now you really live it. And you're really full of resentment now towards that person because now you have 10 years you can't get back. Stop the bleeding when you recognize you're bleeding, because time already spent should never be the reason for you to spend more of it in the wrong place with the wrong person. And the third biggest reason People can't forgive themselves for who they used to be. Even though they're not that person anymore, you learn your lessons, you would never repeat it again, you still can't get off it. Whether it's how naive you used to be, whether it's how badly you hurt someone, hurt your ex or that past partner you had, or maybe how long you tolerated dysfunction, right? You've literally frozen your identity in the past. You won't allow yourself to embrace who you are today versus who you were back then that allowed you to learn the things you've learned here today. But wait, this is also a major reason why couples stay stuck. If one person is doing everything they can to change and be better and all the things, but the other one is always pulling receipts from the past and what they did, then it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything, right? Because on one end, the person that was offended, right, is not allowing the new things that their partner's doing to matter to where you're not going to be able to heal. And it's kind of self-defeating for your partner. I mean, imagine how much life it takes out of you if you keep trying to show up and do great for your partner, and all they do is show you where you fail and drop the ball. It's so demotivating, right? It just sucks the life out of you. You will never be able to build a future together or repair one to move on if you continually weaponize the past. It just won't happen. But let me say this too. Even if you're out of that relationship, you're not with your partner anymore, they're your ex now, you also won't be able to rebuild or your future, your new reality, if you keep weaponizing the past towards your ex. If you keep holding on to all the hurt they caused you and you take that as a new belief system and you start blanketing, his actions or her actions over all men or all women, or all people, period, and start saying things like, this is why you can't trust people, this is why you don't, or this is why I never will, or why you can't trust men, or why you can't trust women, or why they're horrible, why all the things, right? If you keep allowing that past to live through you and your current narrative that you blanketed over everyone or what have you, then you're never going to be able to have the future that you want, because your heart still desires it, your spirit still wants it, but you can't actually achieve it because you're building a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're manifesting what you're choosing to believe in. Yes, it may be accurate in all the things as to what happened to you in that relationship with your ex and what they did, right? But if you take that and you blanket over everyone, then now it's not fair to yourself or anyone else. Because maybe it's accurate that they did it, but it doesn't mean everyone else is going to do it. But here's the other thing too. Even if you do recognize that it's just an isolated thing to them, you can't truly heal from that if you're not willing to forgive them and let go of whatever they've done, right? A lot of you don't even have full tabs on what your ex is doing anymore these days, whether they're living great or not, but you're still holding this time capsule of who they were and holding that as a benchmark to never forgive them, because they may be someone else today that you could forgive, but you wouldn't know that because you're too focused on holding on to the pain, because it's, again, helping you to justify your anger, or maybe why you're not getting the results you want to get today, or it'll help you not allow anything like that to happen again, or it's this reverse engineer way of trying to take your power back from the past. You can't change what happened back then. It's locked in a time capsule. And so instead of kicking yourself about letting it happen and being mad at them for causing it to happen, you keep the anger alive to feel like that's you, sticking up for yourself from what happened. You're going to be angry now and hold on to that and not never let them off the hook. Because if you ever say you forgive them, then it means all the stuff that they did to you that you realized how crazy it was is okay or something in some twisted way. But it's not the case at all. You're freeing yourself. You're releasing yourself from something that you don't deserve to carry, that you didn't deserve to have placed on you in the first place. Don't keep it alive. Kill it off. So if you're going to stop dwelling and start releasing, first thing you got to do is separate who you were from who you are today. Who you were wasn't the healed version of you. So don't judge yourself for operating from a place of pain that you didn't even understand back then, right? Or you got to separate who your partner is today from who they were back then, right? Because they may be in real time doing the things and actually being the person that they want to be and should have been back then for you, because they realize the error in their ways. But you can't truly see that if you won't get out of your own way and stop harping on these things they did, or this moment, this season they were in back then that you've put in a time capsule. You've frozen their identity back there and won't let them grow past it, won't let them do better in your mind. The second thing you got to do is learn the lesson, then leave the loop. I always stress to my clients, the past is only useful to extract information from, not to live in, unless it's a beautiful past, right? That you can find ways to even bring those components to your present, right? But you extract information, then you let go of whatever was. So that means you have to ask yourself first, what did I learn, right? What lesson did this teach me? What will I never do again? What red flags will I never overlook, right? Write it down, find a way to take what you learned and work it into your schedule, your life. How you're going to start living to reflect the lesson you learned. And when you do that, you're taking the value from the experience and letting the experience go. Then you release the rest because you're just giving yourself permission by reassuring yourself with a new plan to make sure you won't experience it again. Right? Be proud of that. Give yourself grace to the past for what you now know in the present, because of what you're going to do to change things so that you never repeat the past. That should, if anything, inspire you, but only if you're willing to focus on that over being stuck on what was. Third, you got to forgive yourself for what you didn't know yet. You have to. You didn't know. How you know better, you do better, right? So you weren't stupid. You were hopeful. You were attached. You were trying. You had the right intent, just not the right knowledge. And that's okay, right? It's like if you have your kid or your little brother or sister or something like that, or a cousin, and they go and they drop the ball big in their life and they go through a really big painful breakup or just life experience. And, do you shame them for it? Do you say, hold this over your head forever? You keep beating them up about it? Yeah, you should never let yourself let that down or forgive yourself for that, right? Beat yourself up forever. Or do you say, hey, it's okay, you're learning. I was in your shoes once too. I had to learn that lesson as well. You know what? It made me stronger, made me better, right? Pretty sure that's what you would offer to your child or cousin or brother or what have you, because you love them, you care about them, and you can see from the outside looking in, you're great, you're amazing. You should never beat yourself up like this, right? If anything, show yourself grace. Or you're doing better now, just do better, because you want to see them win. You have to want to see yourself win too. And the only way you can do that is by giving yourself the grace of what you didn't know at a time where you were learning. See, self-forgiveness is the beginning of real healing. Not just moving on, but moving forward towards that reality and future you actually want to have. So hear me here. You're not the worst thing you tolerated. You're not that mistake that you made. You're not the time that you lost, right? No, you're the awareness that came from it, with the wisdom you carry as a result of it. Understand, the longer you stay stuck in the punishment lane in space, whether you're punishing yourself or your partner, right? For either the relationship that fell apart before and what happened, what you allowed to happen, or the relationship you're currently in still, and you won't forgive your partner for what they've done or what have you. You're stuck in that punishment space. You'll keep reliving old versions of yourself or of them that no longer exists. So let it go. Let them go. Hell, let you go. Let the old you go. And give yourself permission to move forward a lot lighter and wiser. Because you have nothing to beat yourself up for if you don't continue to repeat the things that you did in the past that got you the result you did in the first place. If you need help healing to let go of your past, right, or the past actions of your partner so you can move on in a healthy way to find a new healthy relationship, or to truly mend and rebuild the trust and bond in your current one, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work, only if you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time, space, and maybe even resources, then at least email or DM me the word transformation, and I'll send you one of my courses you can take that'll teach you the same things that I teach my clients towards this, to repair your relationship or to heal to move on for yourself at your own pace, on your own time. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.